talking about national emergencies, avian pandemic flu, islands, going sailing, and stocking up on food and medicine. And I used to do a lot of talk on the near-death experience. Now, all that's great and dandy, but why is it that every time I have a near-death experience, especially my last one, that I choose to come back to this world? That's the billion-dollar question. That's the question that billions of people around the world may want to ask. Why'd you come back to this world? Well, I have one main answer. There's only one answer. The ambiguous answer is love. Unconditional love. That's why 100% of all NDEers come back. That's the ambiguous answer, but I have the straightforward, no bullshit answer. The straightforward, no bullshit answer. But that's a secret. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. One of the things I wanted to exemplify about this world is it's a very dense world. It's a very, very dense world. So it's 50% dark matter, which causes the density and the slowing down of frequency, the slowing down of light. You can look up string theory or quantum physics or whatever you want to look up. Do your own research. I don't care. So basically, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. Why I came back to life from that other world. What is it that this world, that this dimension, that this frequency, and this density has to offer that the heavenly light world of pure energy cannot offer? The one thing that it cannot offer. The one thing. I would say after having my last near-death experience, my in-death experience, I've actually had 3 near-death experiences, my last one the most profound. My first one, I was just floating above my body, and I was just like 6 or 7 years old, so it was no big deal back then. It did change my life. I became a very sensitive kid. I grew up as a very, very sensitive kid. That means I felt my way through life, didn't have much of a mind. My mind didn't have any part. It's just that I felt. There was a lot of pain and suffering in my life while I was growing up. This world is a very, very dense world. I mean, it's 50% darkness. And in the light world, the pure energy world, there is no darkness. There is no fear and there's no darkness. So what can it be that in this world has a difference than in that world? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It is that emotions are felt more deeply in this world. That's right, emotions, love, hate, fear, whatever you call it, is felt more deeply. They're more solid. There's a more solid feel to it. It's kind of like the intangible. It's the intangible things. Like I mean, when you say something tangible, like when you see something tangible like your desk or the ground or cement or your car or your house, that's tangible. That's something you could touch and feel, and you know it's there. Well, in the spiritual world, there isn't these things, but what there is the tangibility of the intangible. So all of a sudden, the tangibles such as bricks, mortar, cars, trucks, houses, they matter zip, because everything becomes high frequency energy. That means it changes all the time with just your thoughts. So that's not important anymore. What's more important is your imagination and your feelings. They become heightened. They become 1,000,000 times more powerful. And that's where I talk about where all the healing abilities come from, where are these heightened electrical sensations. But So the intangible becomes far more important. So such things as love and the feelings of love and everything that sprouts from love. And this world, this density, high density world, the intangible isn't very well looked into or very well perceived by our senses, or it's not very important. Although human beings chase these intangible feelings and thoughts like more than anything in the world, and it gives them great solace. So it is the most important thing. Unconditional love is the most important thing, of course. Everyone knows that, although nobody ever practices it. So that's why dead people come back to this world. I mean, the spiritual spirit comes back to this world. It's kind of like almost like a Disneyland, almost a Disneyland for the spirits. It's quite an experience to be inside, to merge with a physical body. I mean, the miracle of the physical body, and the physical body is part of what I call the density, the dark matter, fusing with the light, and the spirit is made of light. So the spirit and the dark matter, the body, actually fuses together, becomes one, an animated one, and lives in this density world. And it's fascinating. It is the most fascinating miracle you will ever experience in your entire existence. It is a freaking miracle. I'm telling you, even God thinks this is a miracle. I've been in the mind of God. I've been part of that loving force, that energy. And it's a freaking miracle. It's a miracle that we're in these physical bodies, living in this dense physical dimension, and we're feeling these dense physical emotions such as love or hate or fear or anger or whatever you call it. It's a freaking miracle. I'm telling you this. When you die and you end up in that other world, you will think to yourself, how do I get back? How do I get back? How do I get back to that physical dense body that I used to have? You know, because no matter what the pain and the challenge and whatever there was in that world, it's far more exciting and fun because there's far more challenges, I think, in this world. There's far more to do. I mean, can you imagine this? Just let me try to give you a perspective on this. So can you imagine you died, okay, and then you got into a car accident, or your plane crashed, or I don't know, you died of cancer or something, and you're in that other world, and everything's perfect. You could create anything you want. You could do anything you want. The only problem is there is less density. It's high frequency. It's pure light. Okay, so it's a different type of emotion that you feel in that world, and a different type of thought that you think in that world. And you even you become the mind of God anyways. And this world is a big, huge challenge. It's like this challenge, and it's something to be, you know, to be in this world and try to change this world and make and have all that knowledge of that world and bring it to this world. I mean, I can't even begin to talk about it. I don't even know where to start or where to end. I mean, there is no beginning or end to this conversation because, like, everyone's gonna die anyways. Everyone's gonna be reborn, die, reborn. There's gonna be millions and billions of dimensions, and yeah, I mean, you know, I think people should just take it real easy. Time lasts forever. I mean, this whole thing, this whole game is just lasts forever. Forever. There's no time. There's no time. They're just right now. And no matter what happens, good or bad, it's going to be this reoccurring cycle, life and death. Now, we never die. That's the truth. We never, ever die. We'll always keep our mind and our feelings intact. And we will always remember who we are and who we were in our past lives. And we will always remember that other world, that spiritual world. So, that's just what I wanted to say.